Now who wanna move closer on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em, bingo bottle, never stopping till the beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world.
What's up everybody? This is Ted Karras of the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cincy Hat, and you're watching Bengals and Brews.
And Ted Karras said, go sign Dalton Risner or Reisner. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Cincy James says it's Reisner, which honestly, that's how it's pronounced. Everybody I know around here, and there's several people I know that's all pronounced Reisner, and it's spelled the same way. But I've heard Risner, so I've gone with it. And honestly, Risner makes better for a T-shirt because you got the Rizzler, the Risner, as Uday Joe said. So,
well, plus you're from Eastern Ohio, Dale, so
I can pronounce things however I want.
Correctly.
Yeah,
I'm getting a rise for Reisner right now. I like it either way.
Also, according to you, we play the Steelers twice a year.
So, for anyone that doesn't know, the Bengals, according to Jordan Schultz and multiple other sources, Dalton Reisner or Risner will be coming in for a visit tomorrow with the Cincinnati Bengals, a move that we've been long hoping for. And Matt, I know you put on there, and he's got to sign first as of right now. Yeah. We'll care how it's pronounced, Taylor, when he signs. You're right.
It's a visit.
It's just a visit. But it makes sense to sign him. And I was one of the people, though, Matt, that thought he only played left guard because for the majority of his career he had in Minnesota in 2023, his first year there, after 4 years in Denver, he did play left guard also, which is what he played all in Denver. But last year, according to PFF, and I don't know, I'm sure it's correct, but he played right guard. So 611 snaps. And this is a guy for his career. I'll just read off his pass block grade. So first year in 19, just the pass block, 69.8. The second year, 69.6. The next year, 73.6. The next year, 72.6. The next year in Minnesota, 67.4. And last year in Minnesota at right guard, apparently, first time switching to right guard, his highest pass blocking grade ever is 76.1.
Holy shit.
Sounds pretty good to me.
What are the knocks on Dalton Risner?
Nobody knows.
I mean,
his run block grades, if I'm looking at that, his run block grades are usually in the 50s or 60s. But it's like, we throw the ball so much. Give me a guy that can pass protect personally.
Is it locker room stuff? Like, why is this guy still on the bench? That's what I wonder, you know. Like, I'm not against it. Like, this guy could come in, could be a complete fucking dick for 1 year. I don't give a shit. Help us out. You know? I just don't know why he's still sitting on the bench. I'm curious to know.
It's been baffling, that's for sure.
I mean,
but then every time the team gets him, he plays well. So I don't understand why.
I mean, also, Matt, you're a betting man. You gonna put your chips all in and say the Bengals he walks away with a deal?
He ain't going there unless his medicals suck. He ain't leaving.
We'll see. It's
There's no way in fuck. He's had no other opportunities. Nobody's called him. We are desperate. If they can get him for $2-3 million for 1 year with incentives, it's a no-brainer.
Man, we are Matt's the optimist.
And you look at it, he already retweeted it. He's even said on social media he wants to come here. I mean, like what Matt just said, if the medicals, everything goes well, I think we could get him for probably maybe less than $3 million. He wants to play so badly. So, hell.
But I don't know. I was told that he can't, he doesn't fit our scheme, even though he only does really good at pass blocking, and that's all we do is pass. True pass. But hey, he won't fit our scheme.
Joe Burrow's skill set is best handing that ball off to Chase Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys. I'm excited for it. He's been number 66. We just had 66 viewers. It's a sign. So it's now at 67, and that's Cordell Volson. It's a sign. That's I'm not going to keep doing that.
His PFF
69 even available? Do we have 66 available on the numbers?
I have no idea.
I don't think anybody's 66.
I mean,
Matt, before you get that jersey, you better check the jersey numbers.
I don't think anybody's 66.
Well, no, Matt, you're going to name your kid.
Don't be saying nothing.
You're going to name your kid 66?
No, don't.
That's a badass name, Matt. You just going to call him 60 for short?
But yeah, Reisner.
Hey.
So like that's some things he'll take $2 to $3 million. But yeah, I don't care what it costs, $3-4 million, whatever, because as of right now, it don't sound like they want to pay Trey.
Yeah,
That's what I was going to
What's it
say.
going to cost you if you lose Burrow on an injury in ticket sales? It's going to be a lot more than $2 to $3 million.
Well, there's good news and bad news. Bad news is 6'6" is taken by a guy named R-A-Y-M, center.
Ram, that's the guy who played backup center last
But
week.
the good news is, you know what number is available? 69.
Well, fucking sign me up.
Sign my ass up for that shit.
I'll gladly buy that jersey.
I'll 69 that
one.
jersey anytime, man.
I mean, that would be beautiful. And he's only going to sign a 1-year deal, but if he gets number 69, I mean, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
We may just have to all have Dalton Reisner number 69 jerseys.
Right,
You know?
hey, come on, rise up, man.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Now to the bad news before we get into talking about the Commanders matchup. Trey Hendrickson. So reported the Bengals are entertaining offers. We don't know which side's floating out there or saying that all of a sudden. Then there's reports they still want at least a first-round pick and a player. I mean, who's given that plus the contract he wants right now? I just don't see that happening. And it just seems like another thing we're going to be dealing with. I've kind of come on the show and said all along, I think he misses at least the first week. I just think that's what happens. And then maybe shit gets figured out. But it's like, why take the risk of potentially losing again and getting off to an 0-1 start for the season by not having him? Why can't we just get this done? What are you guys' thoughts on the Trey Hendrickson fiasco?
Fuck this ownership. That's my thoughts. What the fuck, man? You give us a little hope and start changing things around, and then Jesus fucking Christ, what is the deal with trade? I don't see any trade that makes us better unless it's that dumbass, stupid ass trade that everybody's floating out there, like Michael Parsons and a first. I mean, Trey and Michael Parsons, or Trey for Michael Parsons and Michael Parsons for Trey and a first. I mean, I'd be all over that deal. That fucking shit ain't happening. Jerry Jones ain't gonna let it happen, even if the Bengals wanted it to happen. But
here's what I
it's
think.
just more of the same old shit, man. We get excited and they knock our dicks in the dirt.
Here's what I personally think. You look at some of the teams. We're not trading to the Browns. I mean, hello. But you look at the Colts. You look at the Panthers. You look at the Colts and Panthers. You know what I think the Bengals maybe send a trade. Fine, you can get paid. We'll trade you to the Panthers or the Colts, where you're good. You're going to be like Jesse Bates. You're going to get paid all right, but you're going to be on a shit team and not win anything. Honestly, I wonder if the Bengals are saying that to him right now.
And as we finish up talking about Trey, welcome, Jared, tuning in. We're going to preview the game a little bit. You can maybe help us preview the game a little bit. I heard that you got a mixture of your starters and non-starters that'll be starting the game. Jane Daniels is supposed to play some. You can let me know kind of who's supposed to be playing for you guys. As far as we know, most of our guys are playing. Obviously, Trey's not signed. We got a few guys injured. I'm not even exactly sure who they ruled out. But anything else on Trey before we move on to that?
Yeah, I think for me, I still think it's agent talk. I think somebody, I forget who said it on Twitter or whatever, but it was awfully convenient to put that news out the day before national game on Monday Night Football. It seems like an agent talk again, because none of it makes sense. If you're going to expect a first-round pick and a player, but you don't want to pay him that value, makes no sense to me. You're like talking out of both sides of your mouth if you're the Bengals, which doesn't really make any sense at all. And two, like, I don't know. I still think Trey's going to play. He still is under contract, and so he didn't want to eat $50,000 a day, but he's going to eat 1-point-something odd million a game. It seems kind of far-fetched for me that he won't play at some point, if not at week one. Maybe he does miss week one. Who knows? But
I've thought all along, like, I could see a resolution, whether it's because he does set the week one, like I thought, or right before, that they just like basically double his salary for this season. He plays on it, and then he has to take their word. They won't franchise tag him, because I'm sure he's going to want that, or he's going to be like, I will not play next year. I could see it getting to a point of that, but either way, I think he will stick by his word that he won't play on that current contract. I think that they'll have to come up and probably double his pay, which, I mean, honestly, he deserves for this season at worst to be making, 30 to 35 million, because that's premier pass rushers and all these other DNs are getting. So if they can't come to long term, I hope that's the solution, at least let's get it done and be on the field and ready to go.
And then if
And I think I liked what somebody else said earlier today too. Like, if they're so worried about guaranteed money, why not just front load them with a big signing bonus and still say, yeah, it's a 3-year contract, but this year is your only guarantee. But give them whatever it makes them to be happy, and then play it out the last 2. I don't know.
What'd you have,
It's
Chop?
like they've already agreed on the years there and the money. It's just a guarantee. So just somebody's got to freaking bend here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I apologize.
Just get the damn deal done.
Yeah.
Because if you can get him and Reisner, this is probably our best offseason we've had God knows how long.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd at least feel better about having the needs filled, right? Because Fairchild seems like a guy at one of the guard spots. That was a big need. And, I mean, I still think we probably need more pass rush at D tackle. But they did go get a Taven Bryan that may win that 5th roster spot. Howard Cross III has shown a little bit. Plus, Chris Jenkins, man. Chop, I know you love you some Chris Jenkins.
Yep.
Chris Jenkins is really standing out and was receiving a lot of praise from the coaches. So if Chris Jenkins can take a step, because he's always had potential to be a little better of a pass rusher, just we haven't seen it. And with the hand, he didn't really get a good chance to really develop in that area, I don't think, last year.
It'd be nice to see him do well tonight.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Justin, we still need help at safety. Say if we get Risner signed, like I said, we're not dancing around yet, but would you call Justin Simmons in for a visit or some other safety to get some safety help?
I mean, he seemed like he sucks. Like he's not the same player anymore, and he's not gonna. So like, I don't know that that's any better of an option than PJ Jules, Tyson Anderson, and Dejon Anthony. So with Reisner, I think by bringing him in, you're getting a guy who could end up being a clear upgrade starting caliber guard. And I think a Justin Simmons is probably not better than what you've got in those young guys. Now, there's no guarantee of that. And as long as he's out there, if it ain't working out in the first couple weeks. But with Geno Stone, was he back at practice already? On Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but just for the record, Chop, when I was at the Kenwood Mall, I did see Dalton Reisner there. I just forgot to take the picture. Right? I was at the food court.
That's likely. I know that you don't like taking pictures with your camera whenever you're out.
Right, exactly. I forgot to do that. Probably going there tonight to find him.
You might be there, man. Check the Chick flag. Monday night.
You might be at the Pink.
You might be in Washington.
Could be at the Brass Ass.
Yeah.
It could be at the Brass Ass. I kissed a woman there. It's not. It's not a brag at all.
that's fair. All right, so game tonight. What are you most looking forward to? I'm going to stick with those young pass rushers. We were just talking about Chris Jenkins. I want to see more out of him, McKinley Jackson, and obviously Shamar Stewart, because it sounds like he's going to get a lot of playing time. I think Miles Murphy's out, so you're probably going to start with Shamar Stewart and Joseph Osai at the edge positions against Washington. And our buddy there from Washington said that their offensive line is out. So I want to see Joseph Osai and our first team defensive lineman creating pressure on Washington. That's the biggest thing for me. How about you, Matt? We'll start with you. And go
I agree with that. And then I think CTV's playing, right?
I think so, yeah.
I'm looking to see what the corners are going to do and then just making sure Burrow makes it out. That's all I care about.
How about you, Greg?
Dale, all I got to say is I just need 3 more TDs. My guy Ritter, man. I want to see him play with the twos. Just give me 3 more TDs, Ritter. That's all I need. No, Desmond Ritter, he's been taking snaps with the twos. I'll be interested to see if they give him the snaps after Joe Burrow. Is that fair to say, Dale? You don't think that's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what we were saying on Friday, right? Like if they actually put him in after Burrow, maybe they're considering the chance that he could replace Browning, like a slight chance, just because Browning looks so bad, and they give him that opportunity to play a little earlier in the game, and he would still have to ball out, I think, to replace him. Any shot to replace him, in my opinion. But yeah, if he does. Chop, your thoughts. What are you excited for? Jaden Daniels.
It's hard to come close to Greg's hoping that our third string quarterback has 3 touchdowns in the game. That's his highlight. But yeah, Jaden Daniels. I'm looking for these 2 quarterbacks battling out. That's what I would look forward to, is if the goddamn if our defense got to play a starting caliber offense, because I don't want any of these excuses like we had with the Eagles, like, well, we're playing vanilla, against the second string defense. We're not going to get that this game too, but I would like our defense to do better than they did last time. I've seen some cut-ups, and there's been some individual accolades, like Chris Jenkins played well. Shamar Stewart created a lot of disruption in the backfield. But I want to see this defense as a whole come together. And, man, if you can sack Jaden Daniels, even with a shit O-line, come on, that's saying something, because that kid is elusive. So, congratulations to Taylor, by the way, for getting the second best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. I was trying to think. There was another one I was going to say, and I completely forgot now. Yeah.
I want to see McKinley Jackson, too, a little bit more, to be honest, though.
The long snapper battle I wanted to see, too. I want to see who snaps that ball perfectly. I don't want to see any errors.
I know the one I was thinking of was Demetrius Knight, because I thought our linebackers looked bad. Jerry said Logan Wilson here. I mean, Logan Wilson, I'm a little worried about Logan Wilson overall. But D. Knight didn't really do anything flash necessarily in that first game either. I thought the linebackers in general kind of looked a little bad, along with the secondary. The D-line, I saw a little more flashes, nothing special, but I'd like to see D. Knight flash tonight, because, man, that interception he had in practice the other day, holy hell, in the end zone, a one-handed grab was amazing. So, and the guy, you see him constantly out after practice, still working on things. He's pulled Trey aside to work on things when he's going to be blitzing as a pass rusher. So I just think the kid has what you want as far as loving football and putting the work in. But can we see him flash a little bit tonight? That'd be fun. Hey, and maybe he'll be the one that gets a sack on Jaden Daniels, Chop.
I've said it. I think I said it on our previous show that if he could get a sack on Jaden Daniels, that'd be exciting, since he only had 4.5 sacks in his college career. And if he could sack one of the most elusive quarterbacks in the NFL, that would be saying something.
Oh, yeah. Greg would definitely come all over the place. If it was a Yoshi touchdown tonight, I mean.
If that happens, still, can I win the bet immediately if that happens?
No.
Damn it.
That was never the bet, Greg. That just because it gives you a boner doesn't make it be worth 3 touchdowns.
A boner. God damn, there's going to be a flood warning in Madeira.
Well, who would have a bigger boner, that happening or Matt with Reisner signing? Who would have the bigger one is the question.
I don't know.
Matt,
who knows?
Are you serious? You're asking if Matt would come as much if we signed Dalton Reisner as far as Ritter throwing
he probably would
past the Yoshi.
I got you beat by that one. But Matt, I'm usually really good at
a lot of pin-up frustration with Greg over there.
Yeah,
it's going to be like Lake Erie in Madeira.
Yeah.
Lake Madeira.
I was talking about D. Knight, Gatto, of who I want to see flash more at linebacker, and I said, maybe he'll get a sack, because he's working on some pass rush moves. Maybe they'll bring him on a blitz. It's preseason, so they might not. But, I'd love also for Stewart to get a sack. Why don't they all just sack that bum, Jaden Daniels, Chop?
Yeah, they could all just sack Jaden Daniels.
Choppy, I know you love Jaden Daniels.
Good fucking luck. Good luck, young man.
I'm going to jump off, boys. All
right, brother.
Real quick, but you guys have a good night. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye.
See you, buddy.
But yeah, so I mean a lot, and then we take a look at the Washington side. If their starting O-line wasn't playing, I imagine a guy like Josh Connerly probably is, and he's probably fighting for starting reps because they drafted him. I think he was first round, maybe he went early second, but I think he was their late first round pick out of Oregon at offensive tackle. So that's a guy going to be in there protecting Jaden Daniels. And some of the clips I seen, he looked pretty good in the first week. They've got Luke McCaffrey, Christian's brother, that they drafted last year at receiver. He might be in there getting some snaps.
I wanted him.
Yeah. Jalen Lane and Ja'Cory Brooks are a couple of young wide receivers that they brought in. One was drafted. Brooks was an undrafted free agent, but guys that'll probably get a lot of snaps for Washington. So seeing those guys against our secondary specifically, something that I'm going to be watching. They got I know they have Eckler and Brian Robinson, who may be on the trade block even, I've heard recently, because they've got Jeremy McNichols, Chris Rodriguez, who's from Kentucky, and then also Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. I think he was undrafted kid out of Arizona, but he was a guy with a lot of potential, but he only got to play 2 games because of some NCAA stuff. I think they're pretty high on that kid, so I expect to see a lot of him tonight on the offensive side. Then defense, I'm looking at a guy like Trey Amos, Ole Miss cornerback going against our receivers, just because the guy I watched during the draft process had a second-round grade on him. And then from last year, our guy Jerzon Johnny Newton, definitely going to be watching to see what he does. And I hope that my guy Fairchild locks him down. I hope not my guy Lucas Patrick also just keeps him in front of him. So, that's some of the players I'm looking forward to watching from the Washington side. Also, Ben Sinnott, the tight end I liked, is a second-year kid too, so I'm curious to see some of him tonight. Yeah, and I saw that too, Will, about Brian Robinson. So that
is their starting defense? Is their starting defense defensive line gonna play?
I'm not sure who is and isn't. I've heard it's a mixture. Dustin, have you heard how much of the Washington? I've heard Daniels, but not the O-line. That's basically all I've heard. Not the starting O-line, but Daniels. And I haven't heard anything necessarily about skill positions and the defense for Washington. Have you?
I think there's a lot of veterans on their defense. So I don't think you're going to see – I think it's going to be a mixed match. I think you're going to probably see like a combination of, some of your younger players. I mean, I don't know if you go through.
They have Von Miller, so probably no Von Miller, probably no Deron Payne, two of their starting defense players.
You see him. I mean,
you might just because. I mean, he has penciled in as a starter, but he hasn't really been like a world beater. I would be getting him snaps if I was them. But
yeah, I think like my expectations for them and then for us, just like any other preseason game, very vanilla. Like even if you see the starters, it's gonna be for like at least on the Commander side. I think it's just gonna be for a series. I don't even know how much you can derive from this in the bigger picture. I mean, obviously you want to see a better performance, but from what I've heard, I don't think we're going to see a lot of their starters on defense because their defense is pretty veteran laden, and they've taken that approach with Jaden Daniels being under a rookie contract. I think the Commanders might have one of the older rosters in the NFL.
Yeah, they've still got some young guys like Javonte, Jean Baptiste, you're talking about some of the older guys. They brought in like Eddie Goldman and Sheldon Day, and those guys may play some because they're battling for depth positions. They're not penciled in as starters on the D line, but they're definitely veteran guys that have been around a while.
Yeah, I don't see Marshawn Lattimore playing much.
Bobby Wagner,
Von Miller, definitely not. I mean, Deron Payne, probably not. Like, they know what they got with them. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just it's hard to tell with these preseason. And that's the annoying thing about NFL preseason game. Nobody is aligned with what they're doing. Back in the day, you could at least expect to play one-on-ones. Now, maybe a little bit of guys were held out for at least the first 3 games. Now it's like, I don't know how much you can derive from some of these games, to be honest. Like, you want to look good, but I think it's probably like focusing in on individual players and winning matchups and stuff like that, and just not seeing like our cornerbacks get beat on basic routes is kind of what I'm looking for tonight,
Yeah. Greg, so to your point about Simmons here, Edward Johnson here with a good point that he brought up to me. He said, Dell, Simmons might not have looked like the same player last year because he was forced to play strong safety, and he had never played there before. So he's a free safety all the way. So maybe if you did bring him in, and if Geno Stone is going to be hurt, then we'd be asking him to play more of a free safety role here for us. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not completely opposed, but it probably depends on the Geno Stone injury before they even consider it. Yeah. Plus, we're going to see tonight because Stone isn't playing. So I believe we'll probably see Tyson Anderson out there first, and then we'll probably see some of Dejon Anthony. So these safety and P.J. Jules, who's looked good in practice and training camp, I think they all have a chance to show something before they would make that move on Justin Simmons either way as well.
Where did P.J. Jules come out of college?
It was like Southern Illinois.
Okay, for some reason that name sounded familiar.
Yeah, a little smaller school competition. But Zach Taylor was like, it's a great program because his friend's the head coach.
Well, I mean, what are the Bengals going to do with this? Aren't they sitting on $30 million worth of cap space right now? Am I wrong?
Something like that. Who knows? Because the way they factor in different things.
If you aren't signing Trey, then you just opened up even more money. Yeah. Because if he leaves,
if you traded him.
Yeah, if you trade him, that's another $18 million fucking dollars on the table. So
I kind of think like you're starting to see over the last couple of days some trades tick up as we get further in camp. I do think the Bengals may be a trade partner for somebody for a safety.
For a safety?
Yeah.
Trey?
Hey, Dustin, who was the last safety we traded for before the season started? Reggie Nelson. One of the
Hey, you know that James Rapine was tossing around
Jesse Bates.
Jesse Bates. Yeah.
Yeah, my God.
Yeah, they got a lot of money committed to him in Atlanta, and I think they think he's still like a key foundation. It's just crazy. Falcons secondary sucks so much with like Terrell, Justin Simmons, and Jesse Bates.
Man.
They're one of the worst passing defenses in the league last year. It's kind of wild.
I love Jesse Bates, but not for Trey. Come on, man.
No.
I need Trey. I can't think of any situation that makes our team better than Trey, except for that stupid ass Michael Parsons deal.
I called you shot. What about this trade he threw out? I thought about you. Mason Graham for Trey Hendrickson.
Mason Graham? No. He's a rookie.
Well, and in no world are most of those things happening.
Right.
Like, you got to think. Like, I think I said to Dustin, it would be some bullshit. So I'm kind of glad they're bringing in Reisner for that reason too, because I said it would be some bullshit where it's like, maybe a second-round pick and Cole Strange from the Patriots, and Cole Strange is the guy the Patriots have no love for. And I seen a lot of people floating around like a 79 pass block grade for him last season. So I went and I looked into it a little bit, and it's like he literally played center in weeks 17 and 18. That's it. He played 2 games. So it's hard to really say, like, and he wouldn't be coming here to play center. And like previous years, his pass block grades in like 23 was in like the 50s. Yeah, he hasn't been that great is all I'm saying.
Wasn't he like one of the biggest reaches in NFL draft history? It was him. Who's that guy who came out of West Virginia that the Seahawks took in the first round back in like 2000? I think you know who I'm talking about. But Cole Strange, I think he was like a 6th-round pick that got drafted first, right?
I mean, I thought he should have went a lot lower. I think I probably had a 6th-round grade on him, and he went late first. And it was one of the Patriots, man, will do that sometimes. And he hasn't really lived up to the first round for sure. Will tossed out Trey for Ed Oliver. I just can't see teams that are competing like that making trades. But the Panthers was an interested team. I mean, I would love give me Derek Brown. Give me Derek Brown for Trey. But I don't think the Bengals would even be looking for a D tackle.
No.
Like, I know they said it doesn't have to be an edge player, but what's the odds they would take back a D tackle and then that's cutting into the playtime of Chris Jenkins? They already have B.J. Hill as the starter. Plus, then they have McKinley Jackson, Taven Bryan, potential Howard Cross making the roster there on the back end. I just, as much as I want a pass rushing D tackle, I'd really be surprised if they traded Trey for another interior guy, knowing they can get Shamar snaps there too, because they have been. So,
yeah. I think.
What do you guys see if there was a trade, Dustin? Like, what's any kind of trade in your mind that's somewhat realistic? If, because we don't expect it to happen, they traded Trey.
Minnesota did for Jefferson. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going through rosters. It's hard to predict with some of these because I think, like, I don't know if you guys watched the game last night, but the GM for the Bills were like just harping on how they're trying to get younger, right? Like they spend their first 4 picks on young capital. And the thing that we got to kind of consider with some of these too, it's like these teams need to kind of see what they had. I almost think like this is kind of crazy. Like Trey would have been maybe a good trade towards the end of last year. Like if the Bengals, like we were still in the playoff hunt, but like I could see a team wanting to like trade for a player like Trey to like close out a season. But it's going to be really hard. And that's where the kind of the rubber meets the road. It's like, how much of this trade discussion is like a team actually doesn't want to pay what Trey wants to, you know, like I would love to learn that. Like, hey, we have a trade partner, but then the team is like, well, we're still not honoring like what you want with your contract. So I just think it's tough, you know?
Yeah, because I have a hard time seeing a team matching what he wants for a contract plus what the Bengals want in a trade both.
Yeah.
And honestly, the time to trade him, once again, was in early March.
Yeah.
It was in early March before free agency started, before the draft, so you could have improved the team in other places with the money. it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, I guess you would look at a Jadeveon Clowney if you traded Trey and didn't get back an edge in return. But then you're putting out Osai, Stewart, and Murphy, and Clowney as your do we really feel good about that pass rush? Even with Trey, do we feel good about the pass rush? I don't know.
I agree with cover slants though. The trade value was either March, February, or it's going to be later in the season if he decides to sit out like Carson Palmer did, and then late in the season you get a team that's making a push
before the trade deadline.
Before the trade deadline, they're making a push, and you might get a lot out of him then. But right now, man,
Trey's hitting that pass rusher merchant, where you see the Kyle Van Noy's and the Carlos Dunlap even towards the end of this year, his career, Von Miller, that kind of just hooks on to teams late a lot of times, in a season. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't feel I think it's probably posturing. I think we all talked about that. It was fun yesterday. It was a boring Sunday, and I was kind of had a cold this weekend. So it made for a fun Sunday looking around on rosters and seeing what potential trade partners it would be. But
it would have made a lot more fun Sunday for me, but we feel differently about Trey. You're expecting more of a fall off than I am. I just think he's one of those guys that'll put in the work and back-to-back 17.5 sacks. So for me, it would have been more fun if we signed it. Yeah, if it said trade extension.
I want the sacks to be meaningful sacks. I think there's a difference. When I go through TJ Watt's game log, the last 2 games of the season, he didn't register a stat. The previous 2 games of that, no sacks. So, when we're paying guys big money, you better be showing up in the divisional round, the AFC Championship. I don't care if you get 4 sacks against the Raiders. So that's where I'm at.
I mean, it's fair. And, I mean, even in situations, right, when the Bengals were trailing or tied, he had, 1 sack out of the 17.5. Something crazy that Jay Morrison had. So, I mean, the context does matter, but I just think we would be worse without him, like Jupp said earlier. Go ahead, Greg.
Well, Dustin, you were the only person on Twitter. You're what, this could be a good thing. I want to get younger on the defensive line. Dustin, I get the point you were making with right there. I mean, if some team called us and offered one of their young up-and-coming defensive ends and maybe a first, second-round pick, I mean, I would heavily consider it. It depends on who the player is. But like you said, Dustin, you got to get younger. But even though Trey has showed no signs of that, you still don't know for a guy his age at 31, right?
Yeah. Will's bringing us some really good names. Think about this scenario. What if we were able to get a safety and maybe another player for Trey in whatever draft pick? And then if you want to go the veteran route, go get a Judon or Clowney. You added 2 more players to your team that makes it better, and you get the veteran.
Well, and you'd have plenty of money to sign whoever the hell you wanted that's out there.
I mean, I know it's not the same context, but what was it when we kind of let Will Jackson walk?
We signed Apple, Awuzie, and Hilton. It's cheaper than what we would have paid William Jackson. When everybody said that was a stupid thing we did, letting William Jackson go, well, who got the last laugh?
Well, it might have seemed stupid at the time when he was going to sign elsewhere, but once they actually replaced it because it was before free agency, then it was okay, I see a vision here. And replacing it with one guy with 2 to 3 players.
Yep.
That's always a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I wasn't completely opposed to trading Trey, but it should have been done.
Yeah.
And if it's not that, you had to know, hey, we're not going to work out a deal. You should have had this figured out so you could have improved the team elsewhere prior. Mm-hmm. But at this point, I'm just trade him or pay him because I don't see a trade out there.
I hate to be negative Nancy too, but my other concern is I would like to get him in soon if we can get this done. When Nick Bosa held out of camp 2 years ago, he did not have the same season. So you need even your veterans to get reps, because now we're week 1 Cleveland. He hasn't even thrown his damn pads on yet. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. That always concerns me when you have these things that linger on throughout camp and then they sign and they just don't have, it just doesn't seem like that works out all the time. I don't know. So.
But. Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, it is what it is. It's all this with Trey. I just wish it was done like the Shamar Stewart saga. But we have actual football to watch tonight. It's preseason game 2. We got Joe Burrow to watch. We got all these exciting things. I don't believe Jermaine Burton is playing somebody. I think had something about that. I think it was Antoine. But, so who's an off-the-radar guy for the Bengals that you're excited to see? And I don't know yet if Seth McLaughlin's playing, but I'm going to steal him if he is because I want to see him in there and see what he can do at center because I believe Matt Lee's still out. And, see what he can do after Ted's out of the game.
Go ahead, Dust.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I'll go with, my last name, his last name's Gregory. That's all you need to hear from me. I'll go with that guy, Gregory, that DT deal. You've been raving about him. If we can keep Gregory on this team, I know what my next jersey's going to be.
Going to be Gregory?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Is it bad to say McKinley Jackson? I mean, he's not a starter, but I want to see more McKinley Jackson. That dude flashes as a pass rusher from the interior, from the nose tackle spot. So I want to see more McKinley Jackson.
I'm actually excited to see, not to be too different, but Gary Brightwell returning kicks again. I really think. I mean, if you guys are seeing like some of these preseason games, like the starting, like you're starting on the 35 pretty much damn near now. So like anything, you're basically telling me with a guy like Gary Brightwell that showed some kickoff return ability and good vision. Like if we can give Burrow the ball in like the 40 or 50 every drive, like how many points we're going to rack up. I think that's such an underrated and under talked about thing going into this season. Some of the changes in the kickoffs, Yeah.
And Iceman, he said, Jalen Rivers at right guard. I mean, because we haven't, me too, because there's a little up and down at tackle, but who knows? He might be back out at tackle because I don't know if Ford's playing because he was dinged up and on the rehab field and all this stuff. But Taylor here, my guy, says Isaiah Williams. That's right. We're not just giving up on Isaiah Williams for our 53-man roster and as a return guy based on one game. The Hive still lives, Taylor. Isaiah Williams could ball out tonight, and I'll be here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Is Burton playing tonight? Is he?
No, I don't think so.
Up? All right.
No. He hadn't been practicing. He was still on the sidelines. He was doing some stuff on the rehab fields, but I think they announced he was already out. Dusty, I'm with you. Taj Brooks.
Yes.
Because he didn't have the biggest lanes, and he had like a 10-yard run, was called back, so the numbers didn't look great. But he runs angry, and he's got some good cutting ability for his size. So I want to see more Taj Brooks as well as a running back tonight.
Do you think that Taj Brooks and Chase Brown are going to split carries at any, like even 60-40 or something like that? And then Samaje comes in as the third down back?
I doubt it's more of a 60-40. I bet Taj Brooks gets very minimal early. I think they're going to ride. I think they're going to ride Chase Brown.
Yeah.
Chase Brown probably will get 70% of the snaps, and the other 30, probably 15 to 20 of those will probably go to P. Ryan on third downs in different situations. And then Brooks may get a couple carries here or there, but I would love to see me be wrong on that, Chop, because I think you need more running backs and injuries happen. And I want a running back finding their groove a little bit, during the season and getting better and getting snaps.
Yeah. I mean, what I wanted Taj Brooks was for that 1 yard anyway. So, I mean, I'm not like super excited. I mean, if whatever does best for the Bengals running game, because if you got a running game that they got to respect, come on now. You already know about the passing game.
And Westish is excited to see Greg's guy, Desmond Ridder, because we know what Jake Browning is. So, I think that's fair. Let's see more Ridder.
By the way,
but there's only one thing I would love to see more than Ridder, and that is Midwest Best Barbecue and the Chop Shop, proud sponsors of Bengals and Brews. Those are two sponsors that I actually loved. I always look forward to seeing even more than Desmond Ridder throwing a touchdown to Andre Yosibas, and that says a lot right there.
I'm wearing one of them fantastic shirts right now.
I'm wearing the tank top right now.
I'm the great Joe Burlio.
Joe Burlio.
And I want to see Joe Burrow to Noah Fant. Can we get a couple catches there?
Whoa, yeah.
Can we feed my guy Noah Fant a little bit? Because he's supposed to play tonight. So that's exciting too. Dustin, go ahead.
I was going to say Logan Wilson. Although the Commanders' offense will be dumbed down tonight, they do a great job of isolating linebackers and pass coverage. So, we'll see. I mean, is he being able to hang with backs out of the backfield? Like that's a requirement for a linebacker in today's NFL. And the Commanders do a good job of isolating linebackers. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, and I was saying Knight earlier, but yeah, Greg needs three more touchdowns. Ritter got one last week. T. Huddy got him on the board with one. And I agree, Jerry. Chuck Sizzle, I thought he wouldn't make it. He's clearly solidified a spot. You know what I want to see Chuck do tonight? Because he was back there for 1 or 2, but I want to see him getting the return duties. If he's solidified on this spot, you need to do what you're going to be doing when the season starts, because he's going to be the return man, I think, too. Like, he just is. You got Burton dinged up.
Yeah.
So let's get Sizzle back there, and let's see what he can do in the return game.
Yeah.
And the secondary. Like Will says, Ivy and Newton, they got some making up to do. You got some splaining to do.
Yes.
I'm also looking forward to Al Golden. The first game, very vanilla, and I don't want to show it too much on tape. But it'd be nice if we spice it up a little bit, maybe send some blitzes. I know that they moved Demetrius Knight around quite a bit. I know early in camp they brought Geno Stone on a blitz. So it'd be kind of cool to maybe see a few packages, but not, again, tipping your hat too much. So
when you see Al Golden talk, can you smell Old Spice?
Oh, yeah. His hair.
When I see Al Golden talk, I can smell Old Spice in the room with him.
Yeah.
Well, just like how you can smell the barbecue sauce I put on my chest recently.
That's true.
He also looks like a guy that doesn't go home.
No.
Like he just stays at the office.
I've said that he looks like he just carries himself like a head coach when he's talking and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some great experiences. I mean, look at Temple's program since he left. I mean, I know he didn't have a great stop in Miami, but what coach has had success there with the Hurricanes,
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I think there's probably a path in which he wants to get back to potentially being a head coach. So, I think you're going to get a lot of motivation from him, So,
yeah.
Yeah, and Will, if I don't know if Ford's playing because he was dinged up and out late in the week, so I'm not 100% sure if he's playing. And Rivers, if they look bad, or whoever our backup tackles is, do you think they call George? I think they should call George Fant regardless. I've been saying that. You can never have enough depth and get the best players in there. Because, I still think there's a world where Devin Cochran makes this roster, and Crypt Keeper knows how much I love him. But I do think there's a world that he makes this roster, and that's the scary thought because I don't think.
I have a question for you guys. Oh, you go ahead. You're pulling up Jeff's comment.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to get to David's, but go ahead with Jeff's first. We can do David's next. It's the next. Is Brandon Lux? Like they gave him the same number too, right? Isn't he also
same number and said blitz off the edge. On a play.
What I want to hear, Dale, you and Dustin, your opinion on that statement. Brandon Lux equals Mike Hilton 2.0. I've heard he's like Mike Hilton was losing step and he was slower, and this guy is just like him but faster.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at his body type and just kind of like how they would use him, I think there is something sneaky about just having a really good blitzing corner. Like that's kind of what Hilton did the entire time he was here.
I think Dax is going to be great in that role if he's in the slot because he did it at Michigan.
Yeah. I mean, I think like seeing the trajectory of Lux's career, he got better. He transferred from Fresno State to Texas Tech and had a pretty good year. I mean, Texas Tech, like despite like whatever happened with their season, they do have good players on that team. So. Yeah, man. I mean, for a FA pickup, like it's been good to see him out there and like sending them on blitzes. You never know where these guys come from, right? Like PJ Schools, like it's just that's what's beautiful about the NFL is these guys can come in and be impact players.
Yeah.
So
I definitely think that he is a guy you want to keep on the practice squad for a year for Lux, and then maybe see what you have next year. Depending on what the roster looks like. Because unless DJ Ivy just completely looks like trash for the rest of the preseason still, then maybe he has a chance to make it. Because I've heard some good things with Marco Wilson back at practice. Let's see how he does tonight. But that he's looked pretty decent again at practice. And he came in and played some good snaps for us in the second half of the season. So I think he's got a tough climb there to try to make the 53. But if you could keep him on the practice squad for a year, you might have something in it as you develop him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just sometimes you want your cornerbacks just to be dogs. You know, they don't have to be perfect. They just got to be motivated because they're chasing receivers down all the time, you know, and just be willing to come up to make tackles, especially in the AFC North, you know. So, like, if the more that you have those types of guys on your defense, the better. Just tough junkyard dogs that like to get after it.
Yes, Kane, we all like checking out dudes' body types.
Right, we do.
I mean, I told someone to eat my ass earlier, and he's like,
I saw that.
Yeah.
It's like you went straight to the east, eat my ass. Like you just went
well,
straight
I
to it.
mean, it's just like, come on, man. I'm just saying Howie Roseman does a good job of how he does business, and I respect it. I wish we were a little more proactive in contracts, save you money in the long run. I like how aggressive he is in the draft. And I like how he builds a team. He's always looking to add more depth pieces, you know, with trades and different things. And I said, I just like that. And it's like, well, go be a fan of that then. I'm like, eat my ass. How about you
Hey,
eat my
Dale.
ass? Don't
You
tell
know,
me what
I'm
to
eating
do.
my ass right now.
What if he did want to eat your ass, Dale?
Then maybe we'd be best friends. Maybe he'd be on
Yeah,
the show.
maybe you
that he
would.
just said.
Maybe you would.
Maybe this is a good learning experience for the front office, though. Have we had this many paid players on one team in our
No.
history at one given time? You know,
I mean, are you including Trey?
I mean, yeah. I mean, throw him in there. Say the deal gets done.
I mean, probably
Yeah.
not ever.
Yeah. So I think, like, to a certain extent, we've been proactive on maybe some of the medium range contracts and getting ahead of that. It's like the bigger contracts. So I don't know. Maybe that this has been a learning experience for them, how to get out in front of them. But, you know, time will tell because, you know, if Shamar Stewart dominates here in 4 years, we'll be having the same conversation, you know?
Yeah, if Shamar Stewart's dominating this
Oh.
year and next year, and you see that trajectory, you know, then
Yeah.
I'd be like, I want to get it done as soon as I'm possibly
Exactly.
able to, you know, like let's not beat around the bush here and worry about the 5th-year option. Let's extend you on top of that 5th-year option. So you've got it done and, you know, even a 3-year extension. And then you just like, hey, it's done. Nothing to worry about. Hey, it'd be nice to have some guys hit and have that worry in the first round. I mean, obviously Burrow, Jamar Chase, but having guys hit that you didn't draft in the top 10
What
also
about
would
that
be
year
nice
we got
to see.
Geno? We got Geno, not Michael Johnson, Geno Dunlap. I think we had AJ Greenstein. I mean, that's the only other one I can think of, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whitworth.
And at the time, there wasn't as much guaranteed money. Probably.
Right. It's a different world with guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's the big hang up on Trey, because that's
Yeah.
what came out today is that it's the guaranteed money. They're not wanting to go past year one. And you see these other teams, people are getting full guarantee. If they're signing a 3-year contract, they're getting fully guaranteed through year 3, basically. And you're saying, we don't want to give you any guarantees past the first. So it's basically like signing a 1-year extension. It just, he's not going to want to do that. So there's going to be some movement there. And I just wonder if they could bridge the gap and say fully guaranteed through 2 with just a little bit even in the 3rd year and get it done.
What the irony, I can't remember quite. The irony with Trey, didn't some consider we overpaid for him on the free agent market?
Maybe
Like-
at the time. Like, when he
Didn't some
came
people
in.
consider him an overpay?
Probably, honestly.
Yeah, just kind of funny how full circle, like we
Ha.
paid him a lot to begin with, and now it's like,
Bro,
you know, we're cheap on him. It's just, yeah, I don't know.
that's funny. My analogy for that is at work. You know, I work in psych emergency and people come in suicidal, like these kids. They're all upset because their partner, you know what I mean, left
Yeah.
them or whatever. And
Yeah.
they're all suicidal. But then when they're older, they also come in because their partner won't leave.
Yeah.
It's the same circle, just like you said.
Oh, dude, it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah. A big possession battle that I still think is brewing, and I think they all look good. Is the linebacker 5 spot with a Joe Giles Harris who flashed on special teams, interception, plus came off the line and applied some pressure on some blitzes. So they did some blitzes because I remember Joe Giles Harris getting, I think, like 2 pressures in that game last week. But then you also have Mubajong Meta, who had several tackles. You had Chuck Haywood, who had several tackles, and they all have special teams value. And you got to have that for linebacker 5. If you guys just had to make a prediction before we even see game 2 and we can reevaluate it after, who do you think wins that linebacker 5 job? If you had to gun to head right now, Chop, who wins it?
Boom John Meta.
Just because you love that.
Yeah, I love them. Well, I'm telling you though, I think that kid has a future. I think he's got good football instincts, and he hits hard.
Fair. It's fair, Dustin.
Yeah,
it's tough. I think
tough.
they all provide.
When I see the draft profile of like who Al Golden has taken, it points to me more of the Shaka Hayward. You know, I just like I like his athleticism. I like how he played towards the end of the season. You know, so I could see him being the fifth. I think I don't know. It's tough. Like, do you designate like the special teams aspect? I don't know enough about how what Shaka did in special teams. I know,
right? We know Muma played it all last year.
Yes.
We know Joe Giles Harris. That's his whole career has been about special teams, which is why I would. And Shaka, he's been on the practice squad too much, and when he's been called up, like last year versus Pittsburgh, he's basically in there as a starter, and they had a great game. So
made tackles all over the place.
Yeah, I'm gonna say just basing off of the first preseason game, Joe Giles Harris, because he flashed on special teams. Yeah. And I thought he flashed on defense. So just off the one game, we'll reevaluate it. But we've got one vote for each player. So Greg, who's
is that the one deal that had the interception?
Yeah, he had the interception too.
Oh yeah, that's badass interception.
So linebacker 5, gun to head. You had to pick linebacker 5 right now. Muma Meta, Shaka Hayward, or Joe Giles Harris. Who's winning the battle? We've all picked a different player. So
Dale, Joe Giles Harris, I didn't know who the fuck he was. And I'm like, this guy making the roster, but then he was making plays. So you know what? Let's mention Joe Giles Harris again because he's going to perform tonight. Let's do it, Dale.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's my
but I think that's still a wide open competition.
I know.
And
I'm just saying.
I know. No, I'm just saying that feels like one of the bigger, roster spots for the 53 that's wide open. But then we could have some surprise people make it because, like, if Trey's not active, like, does he go on some kind of list? Can you have another player, or he's just stuck on your 53? Probably, right?
Yeah. I don't know what the list is for that. I mean, I'd have to look at what the Chiefs did with Chris Jones when he set out the first game. What that was.
It's probably just they're on your 53, but
yeah,
obviously they're not going to be on your 46 or whatever.
Yeah. Did Trey travel with the team?
Yes, he did.
Well, we think
they saw.
No, he elbow. He did. They said a report said he did travel with the team.
Yeah,
it was confirmed by his elbow with BJ Hill.
It did look like him, to be fair, but I was like, but it looks like he got new glasses. At least Chop understood what I was saying and thought it was funny because it was a picture of BJ Hill with glasses on. Like, that looks like him to me, but he got new glasses.
Yeah.
See, Chop at least feigned humor at my comment yesterday. Thank you, Chop.
It is funny to see the like when these stories break, all the reporters trying to add more context to each tweet, like they're competing for it, like. Well,
and Paul Dehner basically said nothing has changed, and then Diana Rossini puts out the smallest article I've ever read, and it has Paul Dehner and someone else as contributors. Like 3 people, and basically the article said nothing, but it's like, I can't confirm the Bengals have had talks. It's like Paul Dehner said nothing has changed. So
maybe
very odd.
Maybe he traveled with the team because he's going to suit up, and right before kickoff, they're going to announce that they signed the fucking deal. And Trey's
somebody said that in the comments earlier. That's what they were hoping for.
Yeah, they're probably really smart. That's probably what's going to happen. 100%. That's Katie Blackburn is playing this very carefully for all Bengals fans to be excited.
Yeah, here's the thing, you guys. I couldn't be commentating the game down here. I do have a TV down here now, but you know how much my internet cuts out. Imagine me with the TV on and on this computer. It probably just cut out immediately. Plus, I probably get too angry. You guys actually don't want to see me just yelling about third stringers.
Well, the alignment of the Commanders and Bengals with the training camp contract stuff, it's like the perfect team to play on Monday night because the commentators on ESPN, that's all they're going to talk about is contract stuff the entire night.
Oh, yeah. It's Trey. They want to talk about
too. They'll talk Trey, Brian Robinson. They'll talk, Scary Terry. I mean, I'm telling you,
Yes.
for as much as people were slurping this new Commanders owner, like in the short tenure, he's battled a lot of like contract stuff already, like so. I mean, it happens everywhere. I mean, we feel like it's isolated to here, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna check on my dog. I'll be back in a minute.
What the hell's Dejon Anthony thanking God for on Twitter?
That's what I saw too, Chop. I mean, maybe just thanking God for the heck of it.
Just for shits and gigs?
Yeah, but who was the other guy we had? Deontay Smith. Every day he would say, thank you, no, but I thought about that too, but I don't think it's anything, What do you think, Chip? What do you think, Dustin?
No, nothing. I think it's just, guys are appreciative of their opportunities. Maybe he starts tonight. I don't know. Like, yeah, I think every team, every player in the league knows like their time's very limited, and there's like every opportunity that they get, they really got to take advantage of it because, like,
Dustin, ever since you've been on here, I guess you never really had a chance to talk about. So yeah, we have a little visitor coming in tomorrow and all that. Nobody's ever talked about, right? I mean,
stoked.
How excited are you for Dalton Risner? Like, did you ever see his tape or anything? Or
yeah, no, I'm really stoked. I mean, he's consistent, right? Like, good pass blocker. I think the league's kind of small, it's a big league. It's big money, but like I kind of feel like players are always talking to teams, agents are always talking to teams. I kind of feel like they might have been talking to him the whole time, and he just wanted to wait. And now that we're getting close to like, okay, I can take a couple weeks to get in game shape, I kind of feel like that he might be just coming in for a physical, and once that's done and he checks out, like he's gonna sign.
Yeah, it sounds like to me, if unless like we have Bengals bourbon on here, or like unless there's some medical thing that we're like, oh my God, we can't do this, then it sounds like it should be a done deal.
Yeah. Why don't we ask the Magic 8-Ball? Will Dalton Risner, Risner, will he sign with Cincinnati this season? Let's see.
What does it say?
ChatGPT.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. There you go. But I will say this, guys. Who is that guy for the Buccaneers that won the Super Bowl? Remember, he was going to sign with the Bengals, but they said they were worried about
Tom Brady.
Ryan Jensen.
But no, it was Barrett. I thought. Remember that defensive end?
Yeah.
He blamed. He's like, yeah, the Bengals said I had a bad arm, so I don't trust the Bengals medical staff. Now that I think about this, and he goes and signs, and they're nowhere like Risner goes and signs someone else and balls out and. It's like with that, but no, I'm just
look after the Joe Burrow comeback. Everybody should have no doubt about the Bengals medical staff.
Well, and Dustin, wasn't that you saying something about his back in the chat earlier?
Who, Risner?
Yeah,
I don't know. That wasn't me. I wasn't aware.
Okay, somebody said it might have been Will. Somebody said that Risner didn't really practice for the Vikings last year because of a back. So that is if that's the case, and he's coming in for a physical, you know how our medical staff is.
So you're telling me he had back issues, he didn't even practice with the Vikings and still got a PFF grade on pass blocking at like 72?
76.
76? No practice? Okay.
I mean, that's what I saw.
It is. I will say all these veteran offensive line guys that we've signed over the last couple of years that we were all clamoring for, they've all hit the IR.
Except for Harris.
Lionel Collins, Trent Brown last year. So it hasn't actually worked out well signing veterans.
I will say Trent Brown missed a lot of time. And Risner, he's had over 600 snaps every season of his career. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean that's still a good amount of snaps. I mean, maybe he's missed a game here or there, but he plays a lot more than he misses, and that wasn't necessarily the case with Trent Brown.
I do think, like I was saying when you were away for a second, like I kind of feel like the Bengals might have been talking to him, and maybe this is part of the plan the whole time because you haven't really seen Dalton's name linked anywhere else either. And like a league that's starved for offensive line depth, that's like surprising to me. So I don't know if there's like a handshake or something. It's kind of interesting.
I think you're giving him too much credit. This Risner always signs late for whatever reason. But also, like, I would say maybe you're right if it wasn't for the fact that Patrick's been hurt and looked awful. They've had the injuries lately. Ford's been hurt, and it's like, oh, oh, maybe we should get another guy in here. That's the only reason.
Fair. That's fair.
And a statement from David: Patrick is so ass.
Yeah.
He had some good reps, but yeah, he definitely had some bad reps in that last game. And in practice, we've seen him get demolished a little bit too.
Imagine being Lucas Patrick. You sign to a new team, and you're just going through practice, and everybody hates you already. God, like the life of a player. It's like he's like, bro, I'm at practice, dog. I'm Allen Iverson. We're talking about practice.
Yeah.
Like I know. I mean, it's kind of crazy though. Media has so much access to NFL practices, whereas like college, we have no idea what's going on because they don't allow media at college practices. So we get all the details. So fans kind of have an oversight into what's going on, which is good.
All right, boys, we've been on for over an hour. It's Monday, so we'll probably end this. Probably won't be a Friday marathon, but Friday we'll come back. We'll talk about what happened at the game. And then Saturday, we got another game. So Friday, we got to talk about this game and then talk about the next one. And that will be at home. And I'll be going courtesy of Pork Chop.
And I'll also be going courtesy of me.
Well, Dale, who knows? We may have a pop-up show if a signing comes up, right?
I mean, if we sign Reisner, you never know. Maybe we'll do a show at some point this week. Maybe a Trey Henderson extension or trade.
Ooh.
What about a trade?
Ooh, the possibilities for
The possibilities.
You got to get that emergency siren sound effect.
I was way more for trading Trey in March than I am now.
Yeah,
I agree.
Same.
All right,
I wasn't really for it then.
Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hopefully our defense looks good. Offense, I'm good. Go drive down the field one series and get out of the game and stay healthy. That's what I want to see tonight. Improved defense and one good series from the offense and set. But appreciate y'all. Everybody have